Welcome to my pre-algebra class. We're on chapter 6, section 2, and we're going to be measuring and drawing angles using a protractor, so you will need one. The unit what we use to measure an angle is a degree, because an angle is basically a section of a circle. So 1 degree is the unit we use to measure how many degrees an angle contains. The protractor is actually a semicircle, half a circle, and it can measure the number of degrees in your circle. When we see the M in front of the little angle symbol, it says the measure of angle ABC. So they want us to measure that angle. There's a little bit of, I'm going to show you this website. I think I also have it on my web page too that you can practice, as well as IXL. This is a protractor. This is an angle. We place the protractor with the center at the vertex. And we read the angle from the top. Make sure you line up on 0 degrees and read low to high on your angle. And this actually will let you go through this and make these angles. So this is a place that you could practice. So we're going to be doing 2 things, measuring an angle and then making an angle. So I'm going to take this protractor and bring it up here and measure this angle. I'm going to set the center at the vertex, line 0 degrees with the ray here, and then I measure, since it starts at 0 and it goes up on the top numbers I'm measuring on, I'm looking at those, and measure from the top, and I can see it's 117 degrees, which is an obtuse angle. Now, if you were told to make an angle, let's say an angle of 60 degrees, then the first thing you do is take a straight edge, which can be the edge of your protractor, and draw the first ray. Then you take the protractor and set it with the center of the protractor at the vertex of the ray, the end point of the ray, and line up the ray on the 0 degrees. And then measuring from the top, you find 60. Let's bring this over here. And you put a point there. Then move your protractor out of the way. Take a straight edge, which again can be the edge of your protractor, and from the vertex draw a line through that point. And then this is 60 degrees. We'll do one more, an obtuse angle. Let's say you had to draw an angle that was 130 degrees. Again, make a ray. Take your protractor, put the center at the end point of the ray, line it up at 0 degrees, find 130. I think we're going to have to move the ray over here, move the protractor over. Put a point above the protractor at 130, and then move it out of the way. Take your straight edge and connect the vertex or the end point of the first ray and send it through that second point. And there you have your angle, which is 130 degrees. Okay, we're ready to go ahead and do the assignment. So you need your protractor. We're on page 242. Problem number 1 says use a protractor to measure each angle. I'm going to try to reproduce the angle that's in the book. So number 2, actually you could just take your protractor and measure it right on the book, which is a little hard for me to do. So if I get that protractor back, let's see if we can move it over here. And we want to measure it. So it doesn't, you can measure this ray, start at this ray or this one, but since it's might be a little bit easier to make it here. So I'm going to move that center on the vertex. And actually the angle in the book is 140 degrees, so I'm a little off here. If I'm reading from 0 up, I should have moved this ray over just a hair. Well, that's pretty good. The book's answer is 140, and as I said, I had to try and reproduce the one in the book. So this is about 140 degrees. You should be within 2 degrees above or below the book's answer. Problem number 4, they want you to draw an angle with the measurement given, 20 degrees. So remember how we do this. We take a ray and draw it. Then take our protractor, put the center of it on the end point of the ray, and then we find 20 degrees from the 0, put the 0 line on that ray. 20 degrees is right here. So we put a point at 20 degrees, move the protractor out of the way, and then connect the end point of the first ray, go through that point, and we have a 20-degree angle. Okay, problem number 6. We have to make a 164-degree angle. So we draw a ray. This is going to be a big angle, obtuse. So bring our protractor down. Line up the center on the vertex of the protractor, of the ray, and we want 164 degrees. So starting, since I have 0 degrees here, reading the top numbers, here's 160, 1, 2, 3, 4. I put my point about here. Move the protractor out of the way, and taking the end point of that ray, extend a ray through that point. And this is 164 degrees. Problem number 8, we have to draw an angle, measure the angle formed by joining rays X and Y, and X and Z is 172 degrees. So we're making 172 degrees, and it's going to be angle Y, X, Z, and we'll label it accordingly. Okay, so the first ray, we can call it ray XY. And it has to be 172 degrees. So we're probably going to have to move this over just a hair to get this in here. So this is ray XY. It doesn't look like a Y. Okay, finding my protractor, and bring it down. Put the center of it on the vertex X. Line up 0 degrees. And I need to find 172 degrees. Reading from the top, 0 over here is 160, 170, 172 is about here. Put a point there. Move the protractor out of the way. Draw a ray through that point and label it XZ. Well, you can use this point as Z. And this is our angle, which is 172 degrees. And the rest of the assignment, numbers 9 through 12, match each angle with the best estimate of its measurement. If you want to try putting a protractor on there, you can, or you just use the sight. Number 10 looks close, a little bit off of a 90-degree angle, so the closest one there would be 95 degrees. It's a little bit bigger than a 90-degree angle. And number 12 is small. A little bit bigger than 30. So I would say it's going to be letter A, about 40 degrees. You might want to take your protractor and get a good estimate of it. And then 13 through 14. Number 13, be sure and show your work for that. Do it algebraically. 14, estimate the sum of 47 plus 51 plus 44 plus 58. When we estimate, we round to the largest place value, so that would be tens in all this case. So this is 50 plus 40 plus 60. So if I add that up, I get close to about 200. That concludes the evens. Check your answer key in the back for the odds.